If you should wake to a man-dead world, where virtually all human life had been dissolved from the face of the earth, leaving behind only buildings, bridges, machines. If you should awake to such a world tomorrow morning, what would you do? Where would you go?
Good evening and welcome back to the Grand Forks Central Esports stream, where tonight we have a very, very special presentation of GFC Rocket League taking on Mandan Varsity. This is the series we have been building up towards for the last several weeks of competition. Since our guys at GFC Rocket League came back from the holiday break, this is the night they have been grinding for, the night that they circled on their calendars, because it will decide who the best team here in Fenwerk's North Dakota Rocket League is going into the divisional tournament to seed for the state championship. And when I was briefed on the entire context of this local Rocket League scene, I was told Mandan Varsity is the team to beat. They've got the targets on their backs, and they're three-time state champions consecutively. And so, if we are to see Grand Forks Central take the state championship home in their final semester together, then this is the team that they have to beat in order to do so. So, I hope everyone is ready to be cheering in Twitch chat, be cheering alongside me as we get to watch these three, hopefully, take down the top dogs in Fenwerk's North Dakota Rocket League. But before we get into all of that, I do have some Grand Forks Central esports shout-outs to deliver. The chef, as always, has given me a program recap for the evening, so let me pull that up real fast. because it's all about Super Smash Bros. This week. So congratulations to literally everyone on the GFC SSBU team, as this past week everybody won and currently sit in state qualifying position. That includes Alex Salyer with a sweep over South Prairie, Antonio Flatham-Reimers with a Game 5 win over West Fargo United, then Jaded Halverson swept West Fargo United, and then Caleb Mackart will sweep Hillsborough. So 4 wins for the 4 Super Smash Brothers players over at GFC Esports. Congrats to the 4 of you. Hopefully you stay in that state qualifying position and keep rising up the ranks. Really impressive. Several sweeps and a Game 5 win. Both impressive for different reasons, but impressive nonetheless. But if you can hear that Rocket League audio, which I think you can while I'm on my caster screen, then you know we just loaded into the lobby. So the Chef, Amethyst, Nuke, and J-Tron will be taken to the pitch against the Mandan Braves here in just a little bit. Scheduled for 5 p.m. Central Time. We've been telling you this is the place to be. January 29th, 5 p.m. Central. Be at the GFC_esports channel, because we got Grand Forks Central and Mandan Varsity to see which of these 2 teams stays undefeated. And, you know, I don't know much about the quality of the Mandan team when it comes to their individuals. I just know about their team results and what the GFC guys have told me. And so let's figure it out kind of on the fly. Because, oh yeah, it's time to take care of some business indeed. This is, we've had interviews after every single series that GFC have played and won. And they've been saying how much they've been grinding in preparation for this series now. Mandan Varsity in orange, Grand Forks Central in blue. Here we go. Let's see who gets to 6-0 and who takes a loss in their final series of the regular season. There's a reason that these 2 are matched up in the final week of regular season play. So let's get down to business now and see who's got what it takes to win. The legacy that all 6 of these players leave behind, I'm sure will have something to do with the result in this series and matchups between these 2 teams going forward. So far, so good for Grand Forks Central. Good pressure and nearly a good opening opportunity here. It's all been posturing until really that midfield passing play that didn't quite connect. J-Tron was just behind the play, but since then, it's been all GFC in the offensive zone, keeping control of that midfield line, putting good shots on target, but you can see the quality in the Mandan Varsity back line. Yes, they've double and triple committed a couple of times now, but if you compare their challenge game and the contacts they're making on the ball when there's a GFC player right behind it, you can see a definite upgrade compared to the teams that GFC's been playing these last couple of weeks. But it's all right. This is what GFC have been preparing for, what they've been scrimming for. It's what they've been playing in the University of North Dakota facility for, which they are not there tonight. The guys are playing from home tonight. So, I believe that's what the chef told me. They're playing from home tonight. Yes, playing from home. I had to confirm it real fast. They weren't playing from their own facility at their school. But right now, it's an opener for Mandan Varsity. One of the first times that we have seen GFC fall behind in any game that we've watched on this channel this year. But it's all right. See what these guys are made of. I've touted their mental resilience in series past. Let's see what they've got now. Going down by 1, 2 minutes in. And on the Mandan side, nice counterattack. Great shot as we didn't see GFC completely set. And speaking of, that's a couple of demos traded back and forth. So the back line's thinned for just a moment on the Mandan side, but nothing has really gained from it, though. Another triple commit could open things up for Amethyst. Nuke gonna let this ball go. J-Tron popping that ball high will double it center. The chef is blocked by, again, 2 defenders on the Mandan side. GFC have to start taking advantage of these double and triple commits because these are severe mistakes and openings that have yet to go punished. And with that miss right there, GFC are forced to back off and relinquish some more good pressure that they've been building in that orange end. But I've got the coffee now, making sure I'm sipping it early on in this series. I've got a feeling it could be a long one. This one has 4 or 5 games written all over it. For all the sweeps that we've watched on stream, we've just been saving bandwidth for this match that could go the distance. Best of 5, I'll remind you all. Double demo there. J-Tron's opening the door for the chef, but Shirado is back for a save. Was the last line of defense there for Mandan. Makes the block, and now again, last line of defense, but this time crumbles on the goal line as J-Tron sends a cheeky fake at Shirado. Started to go in and delayed that touch just a little bit. Shirado was jumping at ghosts. And so Grand Forks Central have themselves an answer. We'll be tied with 100 seconds left. This is the business end of an important game 1. And once again, GFC looking a little bit scary in defense. That was a misread from the chef, and a nice punish. Action Jax own one. Jackson one? I'm not sure. That's a lot of O's, a lot of N's. But Action Jackson there with a nice double tap will beat the Grand Forks Central back line. And if those are the sorts of goals that Mandan have to score in order to get through the goal line defense of GFC, then that's all right. You can let them have that, because that was definitely an outplay. Great shot. 2-1 now for JR Argento. Hey, Gento. These names, these Mandan names are, take some getting used to, I think. We are familiar with the faces on the GFC side. Amethyst Nuke. Gonna set up off the backboard, but Gento with a nice clear out. We'll meet J-Tron at the midfield line. Now Action Jackson on the ball. He's MVP of the last sequence in offense for Mandan. Now in defense, just trying to find a lane out. Instead, though, it's GFC in the face of Mandan and scoring another equalizer. Down, but never out. 30 seconds left, and J-Tron's dunked our Agento there, and the chef was in perfect position to field that center ball. 2-2. And there's no telling where this game might end. Kickoff is won, though, by Mandan Varsity. And a good read out of J-Tron, and it is a perfect read. Sets up Amethyst Nuke. Potentially go backboard with it. Instead, though, they drop it and pinch towards the opposite corner. Shirado doesn't have a ton of boost now, but Chef doesn't know that, so waits on the touch. That's a little dink down, though. Possession has been forked over. A little pop into the opposite corner. We could have ourselves a good-looking 0-second play. Ball's out towards Amethyst Nuke. Pop straight up. Agento's trying to stall. Ends up faking. Amethyst Nuke's in the area. Takes a shot and scores! On 0 seconds, Grand Forks Central steal game 1. They never led until the final moment when Amethyst Nuke steps up with a snipe of that bottom left corner. And that's how these boys came to play tonight. GFC take game 1. And how about that? 3-2's the final. And if that isn't a tone-setting opening win, I don't know what is. We'll ready up quick to get him into the next game, because that has to have the guys juice to get into this next one. Oh, man. A miss punished. And I didn't even go back to the webcam. I was so excited to see that one go in. Here we go. Game 1 goes to Grand Forks Central. It's one thing for me to set up this series talking about how much these guys have been saying they've been preparing for this series and how much it would mean to them to get a win. It's a whole other thing for them to actually come out and win game 1 in breathtaking fashion. And it's Amethyst Nuke to step up and shut that Mandan defense down. You can't be missing the ball when Amethyst Nuke's in the area. And here he goes again. Nothing right there. Ball takes an unfortunate hop out of the corner, but still, Grand Forks Central have control of the ball, and they don't want to give it up. Good fight from Mandan, though. Jatron popping the ball now to the chef. Going backboard with it. Action Jackson's in an important spot now to keep control, and does well enough to give Shrato a chance to make a play there at the midfield line. Finds a demo. That was the play of choice. It works out. It stalls Grand Forks Central out, and they have to retreat, but not very far. Jatron had a full tank of boost. Finds the chef again. That's a nice strike, top shelf, but it is saved away by Action Jackson. And with this nuke next up, we'll be able to beat Agento to the ball. Center here, and Agento's playing possession, though. I think what was a demo at the midfield line, more than just that one challenge win, is GFC are leveling orange cars at the moment. But Agento will still find the opening goal of game 2. Mandan have settled down. Despite dropping game 1 in probably pretty heartbreaking fashion for them. They won't blink, and they'll get settled in for game 2 and score first again. If we're talking regulation time, we have yet to see Grand Forks Central lead in a game, but they have been very good at answering when Mandan Varsity find themselves scores. It's a kickoff goal, and with this Nuke and Jatron combining their efforts off the face-off. And so game 2 stays tied. Once again, these giveaways that Mandan Varsity are committing in defense, rather. Eventually, they're going to start consistently being punished like this. It's the chef up the sidewall, off the ceiling, knew where the space was in between all 3 Mandan Braves right there, and set that ball up perfectly for Amethyst Nuke to strike. If Amethyst Nuke is online tonight, I'm feeling good about Grand Forks Central's odds of winning this series. Has definitely been an X factor that I don't think we can really say has been allowed to be an X factor, if you know what I mean, because the wins this season have been so dominant for Grand Forks Central. Amethyst Nuke's good moments have really come in like 7-0 games, or a 5-1 game, or a 10-2 game, and so it's not as impactful as these goals have been. But now Amethyst Nuke twice has taken a strike and turned it into a lead / game 1 win, but now definitely a lead in game 2. Jatron and the chef as well, playing quite well. A couple of awkward moments with some misses in defense, but if they continue to operate their offense the level with which they're operating it right now, I think those mistakes in defense can certainly be made up for and forgiven. It's all about game wins tonight. Series score does not really matter. That was a good chance for him with this nuke there. Instead, played it off to the side. A bit of a misplay. The Mandan Varsity defense was a little bit out of position, but it's all good. Possession is controlled by GFC, and Jatron is thinking 2 steps ahead. Goes after a 50-50 that doesn't go his way. Goes to sweep the goal line of Mandan. There's no one there to demo, so let's go to plan C. Have the ball sent right at his car, and he backflips into it. Jatron scores to make it 3. And we're not going to be counting any chickens before they hatch here, but man, GFC are handling business tonight. I was worried coming into this series because I hadn't seen Mandan play. I didn't really know what to expect. So I was hoping that we were going to build up this series and GFC were going to deliver, but there's always the chance with team streams like this, when you're supporting a team like this, they come into this series and Mandan is a team that is really locked in, handling business. But so far, not the case. They've been outplayed by GFC. Mandan's played well, though. I don't want to frame this as a series where they've played poorly, and punishing mistakes is how GFC is winning. No, they're having to really think about how they want to attack in offense because Mandan's defense is looking fairly stout. Even with the double and triple commits we've seen, Mandan have recovered well, and GFC have had to build up long, extended periods of pressure in that orange end. I mean, in game 2 right now, we're seeing about 2/3 of this game that have been spent in the orange half, and it's still a 2-goal game, which Mandan needs a goal sooner rather than later if they're going to make good on a 2-goal game, being close enough to find a comeback, but they are still in this. Not for much longer, though. Again, the control of Grand Forks Central. Their great striking from Amethyst Nuke. Heads-up play from J-Tron. And the chef Diamond, his teammates up. That'll set GFC up with now 3 match points. 3 opportunities to claim a 6-0 unblemished record in regular season play here at Fenworks Rocket League. And that first seed going into the divisional tournament. But you got to close out. The first 2 wins are nice, don't get me wrong, but that third one is always the hardest to get, especially in a moment or in a series where GFC know how important it is. They can feel how close the victory is, and sometimes that breeds nerves. So let's see just how composed these 3 seniors are. If the nerves get to them, let Mandan back in this series. Because with the amount of control that Grand Forks Central have had when it comes to time of possession in the offensive zone, this series is theirs at the moment. But they start to feel nervous. That can lend itself to awkward moments kind of like that, a triple commit, where the comms break down a touch. That's a great 50-50, though, from the chef. That shows composure. If the chef was nervous, this is a small part of the game, but an important one. He's probably not thinking about delaying his approach to that 50-50. Instead, he'd probably rush into it, just try to get the contact, just try to push it further into the offensive zone instead of playing for the next play, playing with that next play in mind. Instead, though, he hesitates, plays behind the challenge of the oncoming Mandan Brave, and sets up his teammate for success. That's perfect. And it shows composure. And it's now turned into a 2-goal lead here in minute 1. Grand Forks Central are not just in a closeout position in the series, but they have given themselves a multi-goal lead to close out with. And if there were nerves, I'm not saying there were, because there didn't appear to be any outside of maybe that triple commit, then surely they have to be abated with this 2-goal lead. They have not slowed down a hair. And on the Mandan side, surely they're feeling this series slipping away. Surely, if this is a 3rd goal for GFC, Mandan's in a world of hurt, but Agento gets the nice, favorable spawn on the near side of that play, but J-Tron getting back on his own goal line, keeping the pace. We're playing quick here in Game 3, and GFC are looking the better for it. Fast-paced Rocket League isn't always what you want to see if nerves could be a factor, but like I said, doesn't seem like the boys are nervous at all. The Knights are marching towards a sweep of their biggest rival this season. That's 3 for GFC. Perfect pass from the chef, and you know J-Tron is ready for it. These guys have been playing together for far too long not to connect that passing play. 3 minutes left now. Grand Forks Central continue to put themselves in a more and more commanding lead. Nice stop by Shirado. Gotta give credit where credit's due. That was a good-looking play. But that goose egg on the Mandan side of the scoreboard has got to be worrisome for their fans. And it's got to be putting pressure on the shoulder of every one of these Braves field right now. At the halfway point, GFC have lost a bit of time of possession, an advantage over Mandan, but they're getting it back. Now this clear will take some of that advantage away. Chef, no boost, but Agento didn't know that. Faked the challenge, thinking the Chef had boost, but comes back to bite him as now GFC had the ball in the center of that orange box. They won't score a fourth just yet, but feels like that opportunity is coming. Agento narrowly avoids destruction right there as Jatron was headhunting. Great block by Amethyst Nuke. Had to get back quick in transition defense, but Grand Forks Central have been up to the task on all parts of the pitch tonight. Minute 30 left now. I was thinking this series might be one that goes 4, maybe 5 games. Toss a couple of overtimes in there. I was ready to be casting until 6 p.m. Central Time, but this one might be done in 20 minutes. GFC are keeping the press on. That's a crafty clear to test Jatron's metal here in the blue corner, but his metal is strong. 1 minute remaining. Grand Forks Central maintain their 3-goal lead. And the pressure continues to mount as Mandan try to find a way back in this game and in this series, one that I'm sure they knew was just as important as Grand Forks Central been talking about it being all this season long. But just like that, 90 seconds has turned into 60, down into 30. And we've seen nothing from Mandan. No presence in the offensive zone. Grand Forks Central are on the doorstep of a sweep over the team that I was told was the best in the business. But that team is down by 4. And they're quick chatting with 15 seconds left in their most important series of the season so far. I think this might be it. An opportunity for Grand Forks Central to prove themselves going into bracket play on a long and winding road towards the state championship. And Amethyst Nuke just sits the ball down. No extra goals. Business was handled before that final play. That was class. Grand Forks Central put up 10 goals in 3 games on their fellow undefeated roster in Fenworks North Dakota Rocket League. Well, undefeated no longer. Mandan falls at the hands of Grand Forks Central, and GFC sit atop the pack 6-0. And the chef told me earlier he wanted a full team interview after this series. And foolish me, I almost wanted to clarify if we would be doing the interview win or loss. And I didn't ask. I didn't want to put those vibes into the air. And there was no reason for me to. The guys have been preparing these last couple of weeks. They've been talking about the preparation they've been putting in, the hours they have been putting in, both together and as individuals. And it paid off tonight. All of that prep paid off tonight. So, looks like I got a group chat with the full team. I'll be joining now.
Hello.
Hey, what's up, boys?
Hey.
How we doing?
Pretty good.
Yes.
I mean, that's a heck of a performance right there. I was telling Stream, I'm thinking this could be a Game 4, Game 5 situation. Might be going till 6 p.m. Central Time. But you guys handled business. And the chef, I'm going to start with you. I want to know what went into the prep this week in order to handle Mandan like that.
Tuesday, we were at UND with our coach Justin, and we were just, playing some ranked. We didn't end up getting a scrim. Always getting a scrim's not always easy, but we did scrim Bismarck like about a week ago, and we had some great games against them. So that helped us out to just really refine our play style. And yeah, I think we played pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, a 3-0 sweep for Mandan is a pretty good result indeed. And it started off with a bang. You guys never led in game 1 until that 0-second goal. Amethyst Nuke. I mean, we've been watching you own the backboard on teams this entire season. But right there on 0 seconds, you're coming off the sidewall with an open lane to shoot. What's going through your mind?
Bro, I'm scared out of my mind, honestly. But I don't really care about the fear at this point because, I mean, we're here. We have to win.
Yeah, and you did. What were the comms like when that shot went in between the two defenders that were still on the goal line?
I mean, we were just screaming our heads off. It was a good moment.
I mean, it felt fun on stream. That really set the tone. I mean, Jadetron, we saw the passing plays. The team chem was apparent tonight. What does it mean to beat Mandan? I mean, they're 3-time state championships, I think, in a row is what you guys told me. They're the team to beat. You got January 29th circled on your calendar, and you just beat Mandan in 3-0 sweeping fashion. What does it mean to you?
It's been a long time since we've played them. We haven't played them at all this offseason. And it's just the biggest possible confidence booster for us as a team. I mean, we know if we put in the work, like, we can get this done. And this win is all it took to prove that to ourselves.
And Justin, you're in the call as well. I gotta ask you. I mean, I assume you were in comms with the guys during this series, and from your perspective, I mean, how locked in were they for this set? We've been hearing about the preparation, but it's one thing to talk about; it's a whole other thing to go in and perform. How locked in were they? And honestly, what did you see from the guys tonight that inspires you that these guys could win a state championship this semester?
I mean, it was insane. It was unreal how locked in they were. It was, I mean, at this point, there wasn't much more I could do than just keep vibes up, make sure we were like thinking everything through before we did it. But it was like, I mean, it was loud, and it was, they were on fire. You could just hear it.
Hey, it showed. I mean, you guys put up 10 goals on Mandan. I think they only scored 3. That was extremely one-sided. And final question, I'll end with you, Chef. Like, you guys have the divisional tournament next week to seed for the state championship. What are the confidence levels at now that you've beaten Mandan? You're the lone undefeated team. How confident are you that now you can build off of this and continue to make a run towards winning that state championship?
It definitely builds confidence, like Joey said. But honestly, this match is just a weekly match, and next week it's more important. And then obviously at state, even more important. So we're just going to continue doing what we've been doing and look to get the win.
All right. Hopefully multiple wins next week through the bracket. I'm looking forward to it. Guys, I was ready to be here a while, but you let me off early. So thanks for the sweep. Thanks for putting on a show. And as always, congrats on the win.
Yes, thank you.
All right. We're going to end stream now with a reminder that next week we do have that divisional tournament. Let me get the details for you. February 5th from 4 to 8 Central Time. So it might be a little bit shorter than that, I've been told, just in case. They built in a little bit of a buffer, but should be about 3 rounds is what the chef told me. So 4 p.m. Central next week. Make sure you know that there's a time change. We're normally playing at 5. Next week it's 4. And that is the tournament that seeds for state. So very important. Could see another Mandan matchup, but I mean, I don't know what there is to worry about. For me, I mean, the players, those guys are definitely going to stay worrying about it, use this week as extra motivation to do it again next week and at the state championship against Mandan and teams like them. But right now, I'm very, very happy to see this result and very excited to see if they can keep it rolling with 3 wins next week. So 4 p.m. Central. Make sure you follow GFC_esports on the social platforms below there. But as always, to everyone that popped in chat, I saw parents, I saw supporters, I even saw some people that are just generally in the Scholastic esports scene popping in as well to support. So much love to everyone that came into the chat and supported the Grand Forks Central Rocket League guys tonight, because that was a big win, and I'm really glad they can go back in the Twitch chat and see just how much support they were getting. But that does it for another Grand Forks Central team stream week. I'll see you next week, 4 p.m. Central, right here at GFC_esports. Don't be late, 4 Central.